Okay, sitting here getting disgusted over the constant barrage from the media about the illegal immigration system and the supposed snatching of children from their parents. You know, there's a lot that's forgotten before we even get to that point. First, you have to look at why we have this problem. What's the purpose of this problem? You've got people on the left like Obama, Schumer, Clinton, vile, dirty subversives whose goal really is to overthrow this country and establish a socialist nightmare. For them, bringing illegals in here does a couple things. It floods the country with poor people who will be dependent on government handouts, who will vote for them and put them in power to help them further their agenda. And it dilutes the culture, balkanizes us. Then you've got the establishment rhinos, globalists, Chamber of Commerce types. They have two basic reasons for with our part in this. One is cheap labor, and since illegals have been allowed to flood in here by both Democrats and Republicans, Jorge W. Bush especially, the wage scale's been dropped. Many people with small businesses, like landscapers, people who have their own maid services, have lost their business. They've suffered greatly. And the other reason is they also want to balkanize the culture and they want to move toward a global economic and governmental system. If you don't believe me, if you can still find anything about the North American Security and Prosperity Partnership that was engineered by George Bush, that was joined in with Paul Martin, who was the Prime Minister of Canada at that time, and El Presidente Vicente Fox in Mexico. Uh, I had the information on the working groups, and their goal was to basically kind of loosen up the sovereignty, loosen up border restrictions, and move toward that global system. And there was a little bit more about that. But anyway, allowing illegal immigration and not actually establishing a sane, healthy immigration system works to their advantage, and it works according to their plans. You know, anybody who really wanted to do the right thing could have worked on establishing a system of determining how many people we want in our country. How are we going to set up a system to evaluate them and speed the process up so that people who will contribute to this country, who will contribute to our economy, who will love to be in this country, want to be part of it, who will love freedom and want to be part of the principles our country was founded on, can come in here. That was never done, and that was deliberate, okay? There was something that old Teddy Kennedy pushed back decades ago to basically cut way back on European immigration and to try to flood our country with people from Latin America, which played into this purpose. I mean, the policy now that's in effect that all the liberals are moaning about, and that basically the sophists in the news media and the Democrats together have been going on a major propaganda blitz. The law that caused that problem was established by Bill Clinton, and it was voted on and put in law in his time in office. And it was further advanced by the leftist, degenerate, subversive Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, who ruled that children who come here with their parents couldn't be held more than 90 days, or excuse me, more than 20 or 21 days. So, that's the establishment of the problem that everybody's been blaming on Trump, and naive Christians have been listening to and being influenced by some of the same quote unquote Christian leaders who were suckered by the global warming nonsense, and who founded the Evangelical Climate Initiative and tried to guilt Christians into buying into that lie, and who received money from the Rockefeller Foundation to help underwrite them who, meant well, mean well, but are severely misled and become useful idiots in the plans of people who mean us evil. Their good intentions are being used to destroy us, or that's the goal of those who are trying to pull their strings or putting forth this garbage. So anyhow, nobody talks about the people who come here. They come here knowing they're breaking our laws. They couldn't care less if they take your job. They could care less if your children get sick and die from some disease they're carrying, which happened thanks to Barack Obama. There was a lung disease that a number of young kids caught that, we weren't ready for. They died. So if you're a believer and you want to see illegal immigration, go apologize to these parents and explain to them your support. Go explain your support to the hundreds of thousands of people who lost jobs. You had thousands and thousands of people who had really good jobs lose them, like people in the meatpacking industry. And they were replaced by illegal aliens, illegal alien immigrant criminals, okay? They were replaced. They were thrown out of their jobs. So go talk to them, tell them about, how they need to love immigrants and open our borders, and how you think immigrants should come here so you can witness to them, and rather than you getting up off your butt, if you really feel called to do that and you have a burden for that, then, you go to the uttermost part of the earth and you preach the gospel and you love those people and you start ministries. But if you want to hide behind Christianity, you want to hide behind your faith and call yourself spiritual and think that you're taking any kind of high ground by opening the door for people to come out in here, throw your countrymen out of their jobs, murder, rape, kill people behind the vehicles. There are hundreds of thousands of crimes that have been committed against your fellow Americans. People have lost loved ones. People's children have been raped. Okay? That wouldn't have happened if these people, the criminals who are a certain percentage of the illegals, weren't allowed to flood in here. And go explain your spirituality to localities who have gone bankrupt, who have suffered severely because they've had to support illegal immigrants with social programs. Okay? You really think you're spiritual? Get up off your duff, go to Mexico, go to El Salvador, go to Costa Rica, Guatemala, and you take the gospel with you, you establish a ministry, even try to start some companies there and build up their local economy. Okay? Step out. Don't say, we're bringing people here and you're a Christian and you need to let these people come here so we can witness to them and they can hear the gospel. No, you take the gospel to them. Or if you really feel that way, first go talk to your countrymen who've suffered horribly because of this problem and explain yourself to them. But anyway, these people come here, they break our laws. They don't want to, many of these people, probably most of them, aren't asylum seekers. They come here and ask for asylum because it takes a lot of time and it helps play into their plans to somehow get over and get in here. And when they bring children with them, they know that these children are going to be put in this detention, and and they and the people supporting them and ginning them up know this is going to happen and know that you can be played by it. Okay? And then there are the quote unquote Christian organizations who get thousands of dollars to resettle these immigrants, these illegal aliens. They get thousands of dollars to do it. Their phony spirituality lets them take these people here, and they don't care about what it does in the grander scheme of things, what it does to their countrymen. They're getting money for it. Okay, so there are a lot of aspects to this whole illegal immigration, actually illegal invasion. There are a lot of evildoers. There are, a lot of people being played. And this is basically the latest strategy that the left has tried to use to go after Trump. If this doesn't work, they'll move on to something else. They'll try to find, bribe some bimbo to accuse him of something, or find some kind of other Russian kind of lie, or they've already tried to basically break down Paul Manafort and a couple other guys. They trump up false charges on them, bring them in there, get them on a process crime. Get them to charge them with lying about something totally unrelated to what they're investigating, and say, do you want to go to jail for 10 years, or you want to sing and say something about, say this about Trump. That's that game. But anyway, that's all this stuff is. So anyhow, everybody have a nice day, and please think about these things.